Hi Virgo, here's your horoscope for April 2024, brought to you by planetswithin.com. I am astrologer Joseph Anthony. All right, we are in eclipse season, and this is going to be a very important month for many of you. This reading is for anyone who has a sun sign in Virgo or has a rising sign in Virgo. This is a general overview. Again, I have to be very general because everyone's birth chart is completely different and everyone's birthday is different. So it's a very general overview, but this pertains to any one of those two, sun sign or rising sign. This is a sun sign reading. Anyway, the sun is going through Aries right now. And as you notice, we have several planets in Aries. We have Mercury in Aries. Chiron's not really a planet, but it's treated as such. It's about the wounded. It's about a wounded healing. And the North Node is in Aries. So you're really longing for understanding on a deeper level and wanting to connect with someone or something on a much deeper level. And also, we also have 4 planets in the sign of Pisces. So this could be a very social month for many of you, or maybe you've met somebody and you're really connecting and there's a new friendship developing, or, maybe you're around spiritual people or religious folks. This is a possibility here as well. But the solar eclipse this month is going to light up this 8th house of deep psychological transformation. So over the course of the next 6 months to a year, you will continue to change your identity, yourself, the way you think, how you interact with other people. It's just the way the cycles work. Last month we had a lunar eclipse in the 2nd house of values and income. So something to do with financial matters is on the table. You're concerned, or maybe you're switching over some investments, or doing something with a partnership that's ending or completing. And this month, again, because of the solar eclipse in the 8th house, also can represent financial matters, investments, inheritance, insurance, wills. All of that stuff falls under the umbrella of the 8th house. Now, this is the house of death and rebirth. And it could mean physical death, or it could mean just a metaphorical death where, you're transforming, or people around you that are just passing away. If you're of that age and you have older folks in your life and, it's time for them to move on, then they move on. But whatever this means, again, I'm being very general here, and this doesn't pertain to everybody. But again, I'm giving you sort of what this house represents and the energy that's really, amping up in this 8th house. And so it's going to be very important. I also see some traveling this month for many of you because of Jupiter. There's a wonderful alignment between Jupiter and Uranus, and I'll talk about that in a little bit later. We have Pluto going through your 6th house, which has to do with health. Maybe you're transforming your health in some way, or changing your health, or maybe there's something to do with a medical procedure that you have to have with regards to health or blood circulation. This also falls under the umbrella here. But for the most part, this is a psychological month, a very deep psychological month, a concern about the future and, where you want to be in a year from now, and so on. So let's dive in a little deeper, and I'll show you what the astrology is indicating. Now, as we begin the month, your ruler, Mercury, goes into retrograde mode. So we're starting off the month in a sort of a backward motion, in a sense, because Mercury is your ruler. And so you're thinking about the past, all the decisions you've made, the choices you've made, the financial investments you've made, the things that you've accumulated, the connections you've had. So it's a very nostalgic time for many of you, okay? And this retrograde will continue and be completely in Aries in the 8th house of transformation. So this is going to be a very important month, again, for this 8th house for many of you. Okay. And so psychotherapy falls under this umbrella. Intuition falls under this umbrella. People from the past falls under this umbrella. People that maybe have crossed over, people that are near crossing over. All of that stuff is very important this month with regards to this 8th house. So I have to point it out. Now, on the 5th, Venus enters Aries as well. So now Venus has left Pisces and now going into a fire sign, and a very driven fire sign. And so Venus, once again, is about financial matters. It's about partnerships. It's in Aries, so you could be around people that could be egotistical. So be careful of people with their egos. But again, this has to do with motivation with regards to another, or it has to do with financial matters. So this is going to be like you're hiring a new money manager, or you're opening up a new bank account, or maybe you're closing a bank account, depends on where this all is in your actual birth chart. So this is going to be a very important time where you're discussing investments and you're discussing financial matters this month with Venus going through Aries. Now, if you've already met someone and you're very attracted to this individual, Venus in Aries could be very sexual as well, because the 8th house also pertains to sexuality. But this new moon solar eclipse in Aries is going to ignite a lot of energy in this 8th house. So it's going to be at 19 degrees of Aries. So wherever this is in your actual birth chart, it's going to really amp up that area. But generally speaking, this 8th house is about the self, but it's the psychological self. It's the subconscious. It's the deepest part of our soul. And so this is shining a giant light on who you really are psychologically, as I say in all my videos, which I've come to the understanding of after 40 plus years of studying human nature and psychology and everything else under the sun. I realize that I am this spiritual being in this physical suit having a human experience. That's who you are. That's who everyone that's alive is some form of energy in a physical suit, having the experience. And the more you understand that, the easier life becomes, because you're coming from it from a different perspective. So this new moon solar eclipse is forcing you to take a look at some part of yourself, psychologically, physically, emotionally, and come to some sort of realization or some sort of healing, because Chiron is going to be conjunct this new moon. So it's very important to come to this understanding about yourself and who you really are. And this is going to set the tone for the next 6 months to a year. And now, the other thing this could pertain to, let's say you're making investments in something. Let's say you're investing in some sort of stocks or bonds or cryptos or whatever you're investing in. This could also see some sort of positive reward or return because of Venus also being in the picture here. So whatever it is that you're getting involved in definitely is going to change you in some way in the next 6 months to a year. Now, the dynamics completely change on the 19th when the sun enters Taurus. Here it is. Now, this is no ordinary transit of Taurus. Notice Jupiter and Uranus are conjunct at 21 degrees of Taurus in the 9th house. Travel, exploration, wanting to learn, having more fun, being more playful. This is all full of surprises. This energy is very surprising, very important, very much about enjoying yourself in some way, because Taurus is it's a sign that's very much oriented towards leisure and luxury and beauty. And the 9th house has to do with travel and learning. And, it has to do with philosophy and meaning. But since we have Uranus and Jupiter that are going to be conjunct from now to the end of the month, it's a wild card of possibilities. So pay attention to what you're doing, because you might have some sudden revelations or awarenesses or insight into the future, because both of these signs are associated with the future. So this could be very important at this time. So the sun is going to enhance a lot of this energy as it makes its way through another earth sign like yours. Now, the full moon in Scorpio on the 23rd, once again, has to do with your thinking, realization, awareness, psychological well-being. And this is going to be at 4 degrees of Taurus, okay? But it's going to be squaring Pluto in the 6th house of health. So you need to pay attention around this time, because this could be some minor health issues. Maybe you need some surgery. Pluto represents surgery. Scorpio represents surgery. Maybe there's a psychological problem that you're dealing with. Maybe there's something that you really, that needs your attention. Maybe you need to talk to someone about it. You need to express yourself. 3rd house, communication. Maybe that's something to do with finance and your job. Okay? Maybe your health benefits are not good. Whatever it is, it's going to bring up some sort of passion or desire or some sort of change in your daily routine, in your thinking, in your travel arrangements. So pay attention to all of that stuff. This one's a little tricky. Full moons in Scorpio can be a little intense and a little tricky, especially when Pluto is involved, the ruler of Scorpio. So pay attention around this time frame, okay? What do we have here? We have Mercury finally going direct on the 25th. So now you're getting some clarity, some better understanding. Things are starting to make sense. And over the course of the next couple of days, they will begin to make more and more sense to you. So you'll be able to clear up matters that have occurred. Misunderstandings, confusion, and motivation will all begin to slowly return, especially over the next couple of days. And I'll explain why. Venus enters Taurus as well on the 29th. Talk about motivation, drive, relationships, connections, enjoying yourself. Absolutely. Continue to follow that path, especially with Venus and the Sun in the 9th house. Laughter. Okay, enjoying yourself in terms of aesthetics, having a good meal. Maybe you're buying some new clothes. Maybe you're just enjoying the beauty of life and nature and so on. Very important. But at the end of the month, we have Mars entering Aries right there. Talk about lighting a fire under us. Mars in Aries is very impulsive. It's very driven. It is self-determined. And so with Mars in Aries, now you're feeling the drive and determination to make greater changes, to move faster, to go in a new direction, to psychologically change your thinking. Okay, this is going to light a fire under everyone. And so this is showing me that you are going into a time in your life where now in the next couple of weeks, the desire is strong to change in some way. So this is going to really help you out a lot. Okay, well, there you have it, Virgo. Do the best you can. Have a great month, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.